All right, welcome to another What We Eat in a Week video where I like to show you what I'm cooking for the week to hopefully give you some inspiration and ideas for cooking in your own family. Totally on board with fall cooking right now and I absolutely love it. Before I dive in, this video today is sponsored by Thrive Market. Thrive Market is a great place online to get organic and natural foods, perfect for all diets, for an affordable price. I actually have had a Thrive Market membership for years. There are just certain things on there that I find that I can't get at my local grocery store because we live in a place where there just aren't grocery stores that have a lot of the foods that I like to get. Now they do have most of it, but there are things that I just can't get there. And they also have really good prices on the supplements that I took during pregnancy. A lot of staple goods, they have their own Thrive Market brand, which I like the most because it's like the grocery store brand. Less expensive, but also still really great. I like to get spices, dried goods, einkorn products, pantry staples like rice and canned salmon. They have organic ketchup, all are things that I like to get at Thrive Market. Thrive Market does now offer a month-to-month membership deal, which is amazing. It used to be you paid for the year. Now you can get a monthly membership for $9.95 or say by buying for the whole year, you can get it for $59.95. They have thousands of wholesome food, home, and beauty products that are just for members. They also make it really easy if you need to shop for a certain diet. So if you want to search by gluten-free, for example, it will only show you gluten-free products. They make it really easy so that you can accommodate whatever kind of diet your family is on. If you have not yet tried Thrive Market, you can get a $24 item totally free, which is awesome, at thrivemarket.com/farmhouse on Boone. I will leave the exact link down in the description box below. All right, on day one, we did tacos. This is one of my favorite things to do. I browned corn tortillas, served them with guacamole, sour cream, cheese, ground meat from my sister's farm with onions and garlic. So good, and it's definitely a crowd pleaser. The next day we did breakfast for dinner. I made a double batch of sourdough English muffins in the morning for breakfast, and when it came time for another meal, I was busy and didn't know what I was gonna do. So I grabbed some bacon out of the fridge. I ordered some bacon from a local friend, so I have tons of pork in my freezer, and then just used the leftover English muffins, fried an egg, added some cheese, and made breakfast sandwiches, which everyone loves no matter what time of day. The next day we did einkorn chili mac. This, I'm going to seriously wear my family out on this because I've been making it so much. It's so good, everybody loves it. I do ground beef with peppers, onions, garlic. I used the Jovial tomatoes from Thrive Market. They are so good. And also, they're not in big chunks, which I find that my kids like the chili a lot better when it's not. And then I just cooked up a whole bag of black beans in my pressure cooker, added it all together, added tons of chili powder, salt, pepper, cumin, and then I cooked up a box of the Jovial einkorn pasta, and that just helps it to really stretch, and it makes it so good. If you don't eat pasta with chili, you need to. I also shredded up some cheese, added that on top, and it was really good, and we had that for actually a few meals. I've been asked before, do you eat leftovers? And yes, I'm only showing you one meal a day on these what we eat in a weeks, and a lot of times the other meal is leftovers because yeah, we totally eat leftovers. Even if there's only a little bit left, I'll put a bunch of little things in the fridge, and then after 4 or 5 days of that accumulating, we will have just a smorgasbord of random things for a meal. The next day, I did a ham sourdough skillet. So a sourdough skillet is essentially where I take vegetables and meats, fill up a skillet with it, and then add a sourdough topping, which is sourdough mixed with eggs, baking powder, and butter and salt and herbs. And this time I had a whole ham in my freezer from the half a hog I ordered from my friend Stephanie, and I really wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it. So I took most of it off, cubed it, and put it into a Ziploc in the freezer for future breakfasts and things. But I decided to make a sourdough skillet with some of it. So I did veggies, ham, and then topped it with the sourdough topping and cheese, and we had a ham sourdough skillet. The next day I did one of my favorite things, which is roasts. Perfect for fall. To do that, I brown a roast in the Instant Pot on the saute function in some butter. I also brown up some onions and carrots, and then I add some homemade bone broth to that, some salt, and cook it for an hour on high pressure. Now, you could also just throw potatoes right in there with it, but years ago, I was reading about how to make a roast on Pioneer Woman website, and she talked about how the only way to serve roast is with garlic mashed potatoes, and that just stuck with me, and ever since then, that's what I do. So I cook some garlic whole in the bulb in the oven till it is squishy and roasted, and it makes your whole house just smell like an Italian restaurant. It smells so good. And then I cook potatoes in my Dutch oven. Strain them off, squeeze in the soft garlic once it's cooled, and then some cream and butter and salt, and serve that next to my tender roast and carrots. It's so, so good. The next day I used more of my ham and the bone that it came off to make a split pea soup. So I add carrots, the ham bone, broth, split peas to a large pot, let it simmer on the back of the stove. I also put in some bay leaves and salt and pepper. This is great for once a day cooking, which I talked about on a recent podcast episode, where I like to make something in a really huge batch and just eat it all day long. I do the same thing with chili. It makes your life a lot easier, and then of course, it's really good. And usually something that's a soup is really healthy because it has bone broth and then it has all those good vegetables, so it's perfect for that. On day 7, I did salmon patties. This is something I like to do on a busy day when I need to go grocery shopping, when I don't have any meat thawed out. I will mix up canned salmon with some eggs and onions and either einkorn flour or a little bit of arrowroot powder, patty it up, fry it in some coconut oil, and then serve it next to some crispy potatoes or avocado or rice, something like that. And it makes for a super easy dinner, even if I didn't have any meat thawed out. All right, well, thank you so much for following along with what we eat in a week. Again, if you have not yet tried Thrive Market, you can visit thrivemarket.com/farmhouse on Boone to get your $24 item for free. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.